So Python. So before I go with that, so we had just an introductory session in the last class. So what is Python? So Python was introduced in the year 1989, like more than 30 years ago it was introduced. Why all of a sudden Python has got a great boom? Reasons which makes Python super popular, right? Reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular. So today I'll be discussing about the Python software foundation, Python versions, Python installations, execution. Today I'll be starting with this Python. So reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular. First thing is very less coding you see in Python. Very less coding you see in Python. Not even 1/4 coding as compared with other programming languages. 100 lines of Java code, I can write within 15 to 20 lines in Python. 20 lines of Java code, I can write within 3 to 4 lines in Python. And simple syntax is given by Python. The syntax of Python looks like normal English statements. They are not as complex as other programmings. Right. Multi-programming features. What all the programming features we see in different other programmings? All the features you see in Python, like procedural oriented like C language, object oriented programming features like C++, Java, and scripting features and modular programming features, all the features you see in Python, because of which we call Python as a hybrid language. Very less coding, simple syntaxes, multi-programming features. Interactive mode, this is the important feature, right? Interactive mode, we can easily interact with Python statement for every statement it giving response, right? Type a statement, it gives a response. For every statement it gives a response. Interact statement by statement, we can interact, it gives response for it. This kind of interaction you won't see in other programming. Wide varieties of applications you can develop. Any kind of applications you can develop using Python because of this multi-programming features. There is no prerequisite for Python. Don't mean that you need to have the knowledge of C or C++ or Java. Anybody can update with Python. Wide varieties of applications like automation applications, web applications, big data applications, data engineering, or data science related applications. To go with networking applications for testing or test cases, network, okay, desktop applications, embedded applications. In this way, wide varieties of applications can be developed. Apart from that, many built-in libraries. Many built-in libraries. Very less coding, simple syntaxes, multi-programming, interactive mode, wide varieties of applications, many built-in libraries. And also, like I can say, Python is a general purpose programming. It's not for purposed base, it's not for a particular purpose. Any kind of application, purposed general purpose programming language. And it's a high level language. It's a high level language, easily understandable, it's portable, right? And it's platform independent or machine independent, can run on all the hardwares and all the operating systems. very less coding, simple syntaxes, multi-programming, interactive mode, wide varieties of application, many built-in libraries, general purpose, high-level language, platform independent and portable, platform independent, right? Yes. Interpreted language, interpreted language, line by line execution, which makes debugging easy. So because of these reasons, which Python is made suddenly super popular. And the major thing, right? Python supporting nearly 89,300 inbuilt modules for various domains, libraries, right? For example, for data science, some 10 to 15 models it is providing, right? Like NumPy, CP, Pandas, Matplotlib, CP, Scikit-learn, even for big data or for data engineering, right? PySpark is a package given by Python, Python API for using Spark, right? But not only this, for every environment, it has got modules, thousands of modules. Because of these modules or modular programming, Python has got a great boom today, right? Yes. So these are the reasons which makes it suddenly super popular. And you need to know something about PSF. PSF, nothing but a Python Software Foundation. Python Software Foundation, right? PSF is a PSF. It is a non-profit organization. It is a non-profit organization devoted towards Python community. It is a non-profit organization devoted towards Python community. It was launched in the year 2001. In the year 2001, right? The main objective, right? To foster the development of Python. To foster the development of Python. In the year, in the year 2005, PSF received Computer World Horizon Award. Computer World Horizon Award. In the year 2005, PSF received Computer World Horizon Award. Okay. Okay. The president for this, right? Guido van Rossum. The president for this PSF, Guido van Rossum. Guido van Rossum is the person. Guido van Rossum, right? Yes. Is the president Guido van Rossum, right? Is the president for this PSF and is the same personality who introduced Python, right? Headquarters, Delaware, US. Official website, official website, python.org, www.python.org, right? This is the official website for Python. Okay. Python versions, before I go like the installation stuff, Python versions. Python 1.x version, Python 1.x version. It was released in the year 1989. Python 2.x version. It is released in the year 2000. Python 3.x version. It was released in the year 2008. Python 1.x version, it was released in the year 1989. 2.x version in the year 2000. 3.x version in the year 2008. The version what we are using currently is the 3 version, right? Latest version of Python. Latest version of Python. Python 3.13. Python 3.13. Stable version of Python. Stable version, right? Python 3.12. Stable version of Python. Python 3.12. Stable version, right? Mostly used version. Latest version, right? And the stable version is 3.12. So the version what we are going to install is 3.13, the latest version of Python. So Python installation. Python installation, right? Yes. Python installation, right? So before I install with Python, right? Just one sec. So go to the start programs, settings, apps, apps and features. Scroll down. Python 3.13. Just I'll uninstall it and I'll show you from the scratch how to download and how to install this Python. See, Python providing different softwares for different environments, for Windows, for Linux, for Mac OS, right? For Linux, no need of any installation. Whenever you install Linux, by default, Python comes as inbuilt. Just directly you can use Linux. Directly you can use Python within this Linux environment. But for Windows and for Mac OS, you are supposed to install, right? You are supposed to install. For Windows, it is providing two softwares. Python is providing two softwares for Windows 32-bit, for Windows 64-bit. How will you check whether your Windows is a 32-bit or 64-bit? How will you check your Windows is a 32-bit or 64-bit? Okay. So just uninstallation is going on. Let uninstallation was completed. Close it. Now go to this file explorer to check whether your Windows is a 32 or 64-bit. This PC is there. This PC, right click properties, you say 64-bit system type, 64-bit operating system. Now everything you are using 64-bit operating systems. But previously, if you're going with older versions like Windows 7 or Windows 8, you have got 32-bit, you are supposed to download 32-bit Python software. Now, as it is 64, I am supposed to download 64-bit Python software. So just the official website for Python, as I said, right? Python.org is the official website for Python. Python.org is the official website for Python. Okay. Here you can see downloads, all releases. Download, right? Yes. So just observe this. Whenever I click downloads, so whenever I click this downloads, right, and click all releases, click all the releases. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, right? So don't go for active Python releases. Go for looking for a specific release. Looking for a specific release. Python 3.13. Almost 1 month back it was released. 1 month ago it was released. You can see all the Python versions from the last 20 years here. All the Python versions. So I'm selecting 3.13. Python 3.13. Scroll to the bottom of the page. Scroll to the bottom of the page. Windows installer 64-bit. Windows installer 64-bit or 32-bit. If you go for Mac OS, universal installer, Mac OS 64-bit universal installer. Windows installer, right? Click this Windows installer 64-bit. Okay, just go with this 3.13, 26 MB of size. So whenever I selected it 64-bit, immediately the Python is going to be downloaded. 27 MB of size. Click the TXT file or go to the downloads folder and click the TXT file. Yes, click that. Don't immediately go for installation. At the bottom, you can see add Python to path. Add Python to path variable of OS. Add Python to path variable of OS. Right? Yes. Add Python to path. You need to select it. Automatically, the Python path will be set to path variable of OS. You no need to set any environment variables, anything for this Python by selecting this. Otherwise, you need to set everything manually. Go for customize installation. Everything will be pre-selected, nothing to select like documentation, all these things. So you can say next. So here also nothing to select. Create shortcut for your install application and add Python to environment variables. So these two. And see the installation location where it is getting installed. This is important. Tomorrow, if you want to install any Python module, the location of Python is important. Where currently the Python is getting installed, have a look. The users Dell app data local programs Python 312. You need to enter into all these subdirectories. You need to enter into all these subdirectories, right? Okay. So just remove all this, remove all this, remove all this. I just want to install Python in the C drive. Remove all this. Just C slash Python 313. C slash Python 313. So a Python 313. So within the C drive, Python 313 means 3.13, 3.13, right? Yes. 313, a folder will be created, and say install, right? Yes. Folder gets created and just say install. So Python is going to be installed. Takes it. Okay, setup was successful. Just close it. Okay. Now, how will you check whether Python is properly installed or not? How will you check whether Python is properly installed or not? Means go to the start programs in the search. Can you see S in the search window? Type a CMD to go to the command prompt. Yes, to go to the command prompt and just type Python here. Just type Python here, right? Just Python here. Say enter. Just say Python here. Python 3.13, right? The version what we have installed. And can you see this three arrow symbol? Can you see this three arrow symbol, right? Yes. Python interpreter, right? Any valid Python statements you can type and select right here. Just say 3 plus 5. Yes, any valid Python statements. X has 10, Y has 4. What is X plus Y? What is X minus Y? What is X into Y? X by Y. What is X into 2, 10 into 2? x to the power of 2, 10 square, right? All right. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. 10 into 2, 10 to the power of 2, right? Yes. X equal to HELLO, x equal to hello, x into 3. Prints hello for 3 times, x into 5. Prints hello for 5 times. Hello for 3 times, x into 5. Printing hello for 5 times. If you want to come out of this, say quit. Come out of this Python interpreter, right? Yes. So this is what Python installation, right? So if anyone working in the Linux environment, if you want the latest version of Python to be installed, already Python will be pre-installed, but still if you want to install Python, the latest version. So everything you are supposed to install from the root user. So you need to say sudo apt-get install Python, Python, whatever 3.13. If 3.13 is the latest version, if it is not supporting, you can go with 3.12. Okay. Python installation. Python execution modes. Python execution modes. Python execution modes. Two modes of execution. Two modes of execution. First one, interactive mode. Second is like batch mode. Interactive mode and batch mode. Here we directly type here we directly type Python statements. Just now I discussed that this is the interactive mode. Interactive mode means directly we can type the Python statements. Here we directly type Python statements on the interpreter. Statements on the interpreter, right? And the user can easily end. The user can easily you directly type Python statements on the interpreter, and the user can easily interact with Python statement by statement. Advantage. To test the functionalities of Python, to test the functionalities. And to learn Python. To test the functionalities of Python and to learn Python. Batch mode, right? But This interactive mode as a beginner, as a learner, it works better. And for testing the functionalities of Python, if it doesn't know about any Python functionality, you can type and check what output it is going to provide. But to develop applications, this interactive mode won't work. We need to go with the batch mode. Here, we write a set of statements. Here we write set of statements within the editors or IDs. We write set of statements within the editors or IDs and save it by using .py extension and later submit it to Python. Save it by using .py extension, later submitting to Python. What are the various editors? What are the various editors where we can find the various editors where we can write the Python code? Within the notepad, you can write, yes. Within the edit plus, you can write. Within the edit plus, within the VI, within this nano, within the notepad, within the edit plus, within the VI, within the nano editors, right? These two are for Windows, these two are for Linux. These two are for Windows and these two are for Linux environment, right? Okay. And what are the various IDs where I can write this? See, editors are there, IDs are there. Integrated development environment. In real time, we use these IDs. Various IDs. PyCharm, PyDev, Jupyter, Spider, Jupyter Notebook. Say Jupyter Notebook. Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, VS Code. So I'm going to show you on multiple IDs, not on a single ID, right? So like the Jupyter's, PyCharm, Spider, VS Code, all this, right? Among all this, as Python is used for different environments use different IDs. Among all this, PyCharm is the mostly used one. PyCharm is the mostly used IDE, right? Yes, for Python. Okay. Developing the first Python application, just developing the first Python application. Example like Notepad. Open Notepad and type the following Python statements. Open Notepad and type the following Python statements. See, as of now, I didn't discuss anything related to Python. Just I'll take two values, x as 10, y as 20, print x plus y. So addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, right? X is 10, y is 20. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. I want to perform some kind of arithmetic operations. So I'll write this to a separate notepad file. I'll write to it to a separate notepad file. Control S, save it. So I created a separate folder for this Python, right? 10 p.m., right? Python 10 p.m. batch. Python 10 p.m. batch. Within that, I'm creating a sample1.py. Sample1.py extension, right? Now, I've written this Python code, saved it as sample1.py extension. Save as. So just save as. Sample1.py. Now submit this file to Python. Now submit this file to Python as. Save as sample1.py. Now submit this file to Python as right. Now just to go to this command prompt at the bottom search panel, type CMD. Just if I type Python, don't say enter. If you say enter, again you will go with interactive mode. And give where your file is available within the C drive, Python 10 p.m. batch, Python 10 p.m. batch. Within that, sample1.py, sample1.py. If I say enter, you will get the output. 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20, right? So to the Python, you are submitting and you are getting this output, right? Now, but what is your observation here? Here, we are writing the code. We are writing the code at one place. We are writing the code at one place. Within the notepad, you are writing and executing at the other place. Executing at the other place where you are executing within the command prompt. But I doesn't want. Sorry, answer all set. You are executing at the other place. That is the command prompt. But to write and execute, at the same place. We are writing the code at one place and executing at the other place. But to write and execute at the same place, we have IDLE. We have IDLE. To write and execute at the same place, we have IDLE, which comes along with, Python installation. which comes along with Python installation. Which comes along with Python installation using which we can write and execute at the same place. So I'll take the same code. What is this ideally? Where can you see this ideally? Integrated development learning environment. Can type here in the search IDLE. See ideally 3.13. Can you see ideally Python 3.13. You can select it. Python shell gets opened like this. Python 3.13. You can say file, new file, write your code, save your code, and run your code. Run option is there here. File, save it. This Python 10 p.m. batch. Save it as sample2.py. Save it and run it. Run module. You will get the output here. 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20. 20, right? Yes. Okay. Write it here itself, save it and run it here. This what? Okay. In this way, you can write and execute, right? So we have seen, see how to write within this ideally developing. See here today we have discussed reasons which makes Python super popular, Python software foundation, Python versions, Python installation, Python execution modes, two modes can write within the different editors and IDs. In IDs, I'll discuss later step by step how to download and how to install and how to execute. Right? We discussing. Okay, fine. So we are entering into the technicals of Python. So tomorrow the link is going to be changed. So you're supposed to get enrolled, right? To get the new link, right? To your so you can see in the chart, right? The contact, see the contact details of the online team, the payment details of the team is provided. So yes, you can see the contact details, the course content details, everything, right? So once you can check, have a look on this course content, what I'm going to discuss, right? So in brief, in depth, it will be discussed on this Python core and Python advanced, right? Just check this. 1 second. In the chart, you can see Python full stack web development and Python, right? So you can check this. Python basics, Python operations, operators, IDs, flow control statements, looping statements, strings, collections, Python list, tuple sets, dictionaries, functions in Python, modules in Python, packages, errors and exceptions, file handling, object-oriented programming concepts, regular expressions, database access, Python date and time, OS module, Python advanced concepts, UI programming, Excel workbook, data analytics, introduction to data science, Python, Pandas module in brief, NumPy module in brief, and Matplotlib. So this is what as part of Python course and core and advanced, right? People who go for Python full stack, Django framework in brief, for web applications creations, Django installation, project architecture, Django applications creations, Django views, templates, yes, advanced concepts, and also with UI technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and MySQL. Apart from this, one more framework like Flask framework also will be covered. So for the Python, the course fee is 6,000, and for Python full stack, it is 12,000, right? Yes. So in brief, in depth, we'll be discussing about this. So to get enrolled, and there is a message given in this chart. We're done with this payment, right? If you have got enrolled, don't forget to share the screenshot of your payment to the mail ID provided. They have provided a mail ID, right? Yes. Can you see? Send the screenshot of the payment to that mail ID provided. Then only you will get the link, right? For tomorrow's class. Tomorrow we'll be entering into the technicals, means data types, variables, other things, right? Yes. Fine. So any other queries you have got? Anyone? Okay. So I'm stopping for now. We'll continue tomorrow, same time at 10 o'clock. I said initially for the first 10 days, it will be at 10 o'clock. 10 days or later, the session timing will be at 9. It starts at 9 o'clock, 9 to 10. But initially, let me make it clear about these timings, right? Initially, for the first 10 days, it will be at 10 o'clock. Later, it will be starting at 9 to 10, right? Yes. Thank you. Thank you all for your time. Meet you tomorrow. Good night.